Well, first of all, let me congratulate the Osun people for this wonderful victory. It was very decisive. Let me also extend my congratulations to Governor Ademola Adeleke of the Accord Party. You know, the Osun people refused to succumb to the blackmail of intimidation, of manipulation, of political banditry, political hegemony that the Aso Rock landlord wanted to foist on them. And they came out with a decisive victory. If you recall, Osun people were arrested, they were jailed, they were injured, they were killed. But they resisted. They did not succumb to all those banditry. If you will recall again, Osun people, unfortunately, they unleashed the ministers against them, unleashed the governors against them, unleashed the legislators from the highest level of the Senate president and the Speaker of the House of Representatives against them, unleashed all the apparatus of state against them. But yet, they did not buckle. They came out and defended their votes and came out with a salutary result, showing that the power of the people will always be greater than the people in power. Of course, according to Atiku Abubakar, this is a forerunner of what 2027 is going to be like. And he also said another important lesson is that this is a manifestation of how the resolve of the people to stand and defend their votes will always lead to an end to rigging, to vote buying and other electoral malpractice. Well, you know that naturally there is always this issue about elections, and then wherever two parties are dominant, you'll discover that it's always very difficult for a third party or other parties to take over wherever two parties are dominant. Let us be realistic. In Osun State, you have the ruling party, which is Accord Party, and you have the federal might, which even the Osun State governor had to pant to survive their onslaught. Our own polling unit, you recall that before the election, Rauf Adegboshola, they threatened to arrest him in the polling unit of our candidate. If you remembered, they tear gassed them, they chased them away. Polling unit, his own polling unit. He had to come back to even contest election. Remember, even before the election, the account of Osun State government was frozen. So then you can imagine all the other parties. So please, that is the forerunner of 2027, and all the opposition parties, you know, will work together for 2027 and deliver Atiku Abubakar as the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Wow.
Our performance was very commendable because we didn't have the state apparatus in the state, we didn't have the federal government apparatus, and as you can see, the state government through Honorable Salam, you can see all the things they passed through, even with the apparatus of state. Then you can imagine ADC that didn't have any apparatus of state, whether state or federal. But at least we are happy that the opposition has proved their point. But let me make this important point very clearly. I am not congratulating INEC whatsoever for what happened in Osun State. Why am I saying that? Professor Mahmood organized a very good election in Osun State in 2022. And the opposition relaxed. And they thought that would be how 2023 election will be. And in 2023 election, he still went forward to glitch the election and deliver a very flawed election. So the opposition should not let down their guard. I am telling you, and I'm saying this with every sense of responsibility, the election of Osun State in 2026 is worse than the election of Osun State in 2022. If you recall, the Honorable Salam said till 1 a.m. they continued attempting to subvert the election. By 8 p.m., they suspended the uploading of results on IREF. And nobody has come out to tell us why. And they must come out to tell us why. So there is still apprehension. And I'm telling you that the performance of INEC is not to be applauded. It is to be questioned. Why did they suspend the uploading of the result by 8 p.m. of Osun election? And then Osun people had to fight. They had to go to collation centers. Do you know to the build up of the Osun election, more than 50 persons were killed. Not one person ought to be killed. More than 100 injured. Not one person ought to be injured. Of course, no politician's ambition is worth the blood of any Nigerian. I am speaking as President Jonathan spoke. So we are not there yet. And the opposition should rather prepare very much. And you know why? Anytime APC loses the Osun election, they get into a panic mode. And they will now prepare all the arsenals to attack the opposition in the general election. Because that result is a manifestation of the complete loss of confidence in APC.